Whether you found a couple stims laying on the ground in labs, or you killed Shoreline's newest scav boss, Sanitar, and you might be confused about what these different stims are that you may be finding. These stims have a wide range of uses and can become quite confusing. So today we're going to be breaking down the uses for each stim, whether they're useless or whether they're actually useful, and all the different best combinations to run them. So make sure you guys stick around and you might learn something about Escape from Tarkov's newest stimulants. So stims we're going to be looking at here today are P22, Meldonin, Obdolbos, Mule, L1, AHF1, and 3BTG. And I know that's a lot of numbers, but we're going to get into why these stims are important to the Tarkov meta. Starting off here, we're going to be using 0 stims, and I'm going to be jumping off the rock here to prove how much damage that you can take from this same jump. And then you're going to notice that once I start to use the first stimulant, which is P22, which has a 10% damage reduction for 60 seconds and a few other things, we're going to have a look at the damage drop off here after we do the same exact jump. Now, if you take this damage here and you put them side by side between the no stim and P22, you're going to see a significant improvement here across all limbs, and that's part of what makes this stim so good. But Meldonin is a longer use version with many other benefits and also cons. We're going to be noticing that Meldonin lasts for a whopping 900 seconds, and part of the reason that it's so sought after. We're going to be noticing that it's no different here in the amount of damage that you take. In fact, you cannot actually stack these two on top of each other. You're going to be seeing that I've got a 60-second timer of negative 10% from the P22, and after I use the Meldonin, it overwrites that timer to 900 seconds. So you can't actually get up to 20%. Now, I did some testing here before they shadow nerfed it, because it used to be negative 20%. And the reason that this was an issue is this is me being shot in the head with APSX. You can see I get down to 7 HP on the head. But ever since the nerf went from negative 20 to negative 10, it's still possible to survive a headshot from APSX with 3.5 missing HP, leftover HP on the head. So this is me being shot in the head with APSX before the nerf. So this is why it had to change. And just to show you guys why it needed to change, these are a few headshots that I did with my mate here of me being shot in the head with 545 BS. And you can see that it brings me down to 3 HP. And I think the interesting part here, and I don't actually have time to actually go back into more testing, but if you guys are super interested, make sure you like and subscribe, because I might do some more ammo testing with some of these stims to see what can one-shot through these stims. And if you guys are curious about any of that, make sure to hit me up in the comment section and let me know. As we can see here, this is me being shot in the head with M995. And that last headshot there, that was 55A1. So we did some more testing here to just double check and see what was going on. And this is with 55A1 under the effects of Meldonin. And this is me being headshot through level 4 armor. Now you guys need to understand that when you get shot in the head with armor and it basically gets stopped by the armor, depending on the durability of the armor, it depends on how much it will absorb. And you'll notice that as I start to get headshot here and the durability of the helmet lowers, the amount that I survive by is also lowered. The reason that this is really important, guys, is because some flesh damage is lost when a round passes through armor. So if a round doesn't have enough flesh damage, and if the person that you are shooting at is on a damage reduction like P22 or Meldonin, it means that they can survive a headshot. Yes, you heard that right. And this has got a lot of people outraged. But I'm going to explain why this doesn't matter. First of all, most rounds need to be 38.5 plus damage to one-tap the head if the person you're shooting at is on these two stims. Most rounds these days in the meta have that. But if you're passing through a helmet, you need around about 40 flesh damage due to the fact it can be 5 to 10% lost extra when passing through armor. But the reason that this is not a super issue is because Meldonin is incredibly expensive on the flea market right now. Another interesting thing about Meldonin is it actually increases your strength and endurance here by 10 levels on strength and also a whopping 30 on your endurance with a stamina recovery of 1.5 per second. It also taxes your hydration and your energy recovery by a small amount here, which actually can lead to dehydration over the 15-minute use period. So make sure when using these stimulants that you always come packing an extra drink or something to eat if you are already not at the max. So be careful when doing this. Another interesting thing here is the 3BTG stimulant here is actually really good here when it comes for stamina recovery and also 10 levels of strength. Now, as for attention and perception, these two skills have not really been super useful for me, but the energy recovery and the tremor can be quite a taxing part of using this stimulant. I think the best part about this stimulant is the stamina recovery can stack with other stimulants, making the 3BTG not so much of a good stimulant on its own, but a really good stimulant to mix with others. And the reason that I believe this is so is because when you mix this with other stims, you can really get that extra stamina recovery, which makes up for some of the lack of stamina that others give you. We're going to be noticing here when the stamina starts to come back, it is at a roaring speed. You can start to notice that the stamina bar is going to fill up incredibly quickly. So other stims here that increase the capacity of your stamina bar, these two work in great cohesion. So an example would be the 3BTG and also the SJ6, the blue stim. Putting these two together with their stamina recovery, I don't think you quite understand, but if you have a quick look in the bottom left corner here, you're going to be noticing that even though I'm sprinting, I'm actually not losing stamina. And after I'm jumping around, the moment I land, I start to recover stamina again. This is because these two in cohesion together have so much stamina regen that you can actually insanely regen stamina faster than you can lose it. We're going to compare the two here with the XJ6 and the 3BGT TG. I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but we compare the two together here. The next stimulant can be something really confusing for people. Now, this is the cocktail or the Obdolbos. Now, this one here is an extremely expensive stimulant, but this comes with a random array of really good bonuses here. So we're going to have a quick look at the stamina recovery being an insane bonus here, with endurance going up by 20 levels, strength going up by 20 levels, stress resistance by 20, and charisma by 20 for a whopping 30 minutes. But what's interesting about the cocktail here is the fact that it gives you random debuffs here. You're going to be noticing that this list here can give you anywhere between 3 all the way up to 7 total debuffs. So it is a gambling stim when using this. Be careful because you can get some really insane ones, especially tunnel vision for 30 minutes can be quite distracting. A few of them are quite easy to deal with as intention and stuff like that. So when using this stim, make sure that you're careful because this stimulant can really screw you because it lasts a full 30 minutes. The next one here is going to be AHF1M. Now this is a coagulant, which is basically the same as the Gustan. The beautiful part about this stim, however, is it doesn't tax your hydration nearly as much. And it can be a really good stimulant to use in cohesion with the ETGC, or the green stim. When you combine the two together here, you're going to be noticing that you can stop the bleeding instantly with the AHF1, and then you can pump yourself with the green one here and then start surgery, packing mags, or do whatever you need to do. So this next stimulant here is the Mule stimulator. And basically what it does is increases your weight limit by 50%. So whatever your main strength will put you up to, 50% of that will be increased. That's incredible when you think about it because it can allow you to really get out with anything that you need. I think that this stimulant basically makes the SJ1, however, completely unviable. But however, you take 90 damage over a 15-minute period, so you need to be careful. And you can sometimes pair this with a propofol to get a bit of extra HP regen to negate the negative effects. Next one here is going to be L1. Now L1 is actually really interesting because it increases your endurance and your strength. Your max stamina is the main reason that you would get this. I think the best part about an L1 stim is the fact that it boosts your stamina pool significantly. So when using this in cohesion with a SJ6 stim, you can get incredible results, especially when you want to get out of somewhere ASAP. Now, if you use these with a mule as well, you can also get out quite quickly. And last but not least, for those of you stuck to the end, this is Meldonin, SJ6, and also 3BTG and a Mule stim. And I currently weigh just under 100 kilos here at 98.2. You guys are going to notice something, that this is what I call the kangaroo mix for a few different reasons. So when you combine all these stims, not only are you an incredible drug addict, but you can notice that you can move here at a significant speed. But I don't think you quite realize what's happening here. If you have a look in the bottom left corner, you're going to be noticing that I am not losing stamina at all while weighing 98 kilos. Yes, you saw that correctly. To make matters worse, when you combine all three of these, this is me jumping, weighing almost 100 kilos because realism. But when you combine all of these, it allows you to gain an incredible amount of stamina. And the regen is so much that as soon as you land and start running, you will start regenning stamina once again. Now, if I was to take something else on top of this to boost my strength even more, I could actually do this even faster. I think the interesting part is here, it still affects when you crouch, you get that extra regen, which is actually insane when you pair all three of these. As you can notice, that HP, that stamina comes zipping back up at an incredibly fast pace. Hey guys, so that's it for this video. If you enjoyed absolutely anything about it, make sure to like and subscribe for future content. I'm going to be working on some more guides for 12.7 and you guys don't want to miss them. And as always, guys, we'll see you on the next one.